So in this how to slice, we're gonna be checking out some city frames. So let's go. So this is Denver. As you can see, this is city frames. So in today's how to slice, we're gonna check out this beautiful up view of Denver. So this is a really nice project. As you can see, we got multiple plates. So it's 16 plates to print. There are two sizes available. In today's video, we're going to be checking out the 15 by 15 centimeters. So let's take a look at the best print settings to print this beautiful model. So first off, let's analyze this project. So as you can see, there are multiple plates and none of them need support. But as you can see, all of the plates follow a pattern. So Denver doesn't got too much buildings and it's a really low and it's got a flat landscape. So my first tip to print this beautiful model, first off, as you can see, it's got for the this plates right here, they're fairly simple to print because you don't have too much buildings. But as for this plate that has buildings, I recommend you guys to print a temperature test tower. So a temperature test tower is just a tower that is going to vary the temperatures by level. So it reduces 5 degrees in each level. So you're going to be able to see the best print configurations for your filament. So you're going to take a look at the best temperature. So as you can see, if your printer is at too high of a temperature and you see stringing is when it creates strings. So when your printer is going to go from this building to this building, it leaves a trace of filament. So this is not nice. Looks like Spider-Man is in town, so it looks really stringy and it's not a good sign of print. So I recommend reducing the filament if you have stringing. To change the filament settings, you can just go over here and change first layer and other layers right here. This is going to depend on your filament manufacturer. As for print settings, let's take a look at the best print settings to print this beautiful model. So first off, over here in layer height, we're going to be decreasing this value to 0.16 millimeters, so we got a better quality print. As for infill, we can increase this to 9%, 10%. Actually, let's just round that up to 10%. So you're going to use less filament and it's going to make a really rigid part. As for skirt and brim, this model doesn't need any brim, neither of them, because as you can see, it's got a fantastic surface area contacted to the build plate. So this is perfect. As for support material, we do not need any to generate any support material because this model is optimized for printing and doesn't have any tiny overhangs. As for speed, you can leave it at your default speed. I would just recommend on small perimeters, reduce to 55 millimeters a second and bridges 55 millimeters a second, just so the tiny perimeters as buildings is not going to print too fast. So let's slice and take a look at the differences we created. So as you can see, I just sliced the plate. It's going to take 12 hours and 35 minutes to print this model. So if you go right here to feature type, go to speed, you'll be able to see that the printer reduces the speed to print small perimeters. So as you can see, it's going to reduce to 55 millimeters because we set this value. So this will make sure that the printer prints perfectly fine and won't have any issues. So all of these configurations will apply to all of these plates right here. So this is the frame to set your beautiful plate that you just have printed. So as you can see, this is the frame for the 15 by 15 centimeters plate. just be careful at what you're printing, because we got two sizes, one that's smaller than the other, so make sure you're printing the correct one. So as you can see, the plate is fairly easy to print, and we got a support for the wall, so you can set and print and attach to your wall. Over here you can just print this and it will insert into the frame. So to print this, you can just go to print settings, layers and perimeters, and you can print at a 0.22 millimeter layer height. As for infill, we're going to increase this to 8% of infill, so you can get a rigidity, and it's going to look it's going to be really firm to attach in the wall. As for fill pattern, you can leave it at gyroid. This model does not need any brim because it's got a good bed adhesion to the build plate. As for the wall support, and for the support material, you do not need any support material because it doesn't have tiny overhangs or nothing like that. As for speed, you can print at your standard printing settings, because this model is not complicated, doesn't have tiny overhangs, so the standard printing configuration is fine. So it's gonna take 7 hours and 10 minutes to print on the Ender 3 V3 SE, and will look really nice. Prusa is alarming a stability issue. This is due to the underside right here. You might not have any issues because this is a bridge, and your printer can do this overhang quite easy. But if you want, you can just go over here and paint a little bit of support. So you can just increase the brush size and just give it a scrub and add some support. But as this is the interior, is not going to be visible, you won't have any issues with that, because your printer will do quite fine the small overhang. So the model is ready to print. Make sure you check our site stlflix.com for more models as beautiful as this one, and happy printing to all of you.
I hope you guys enjoy it. Those slicing videos are an initiative from STL Academy, which is the educational project from STL Flix. So if you guys want to learn more about 3D printing, you could check our description and look at STL Academy courses. And don't forget, see you guys at the next slicing.